The storm was relentless, its winds howling as if the world itself were alive and angry. The alley grew darker, the tension thick enough to taste. Maris' heart pounded in her chest as she watched the creature in the shadows, every muscle taut, ready to defend her young. This wasn't like any foe she had encountered before. It was something twisted, something unnatural. But before she could act, a figure emerged from the darkness. The Protector. He stood tall, his fur matted with old scars, his gaze unwavering. The creature shifted in the gloom, its body twisting like smoke, and its red eyes burned with an unsettling hunger. A voice, hollow and chilling, echoed from the darkness. "Give them to me," it rasped, sending a tremor through the ground. The Protector stepped forward, his presence a shield between Maris and the malevolent force. His growl was deep, rumbling like thunder, and it vibrated through the cold air. "Not while I breathe." Maris could feel the weight of the moment. Every instinct told her to protect her kittens. She couldn't let them be taken, not by this thing. Her claws dug into the wet, soggy cardboard beneath her as her tail curled tightly around her little ones. "Stay away from them," she growled, her voice shaking, but there was no mistaking the fire behind it. The creature lingered for a moment, eyes locked on the kittens. It exhaled a low, hiss-like breath, and then, without warning, it lunged forward, faster than Maris could react. But the Protector was faster still. With a force that seemed to split the air itself, he collided with the creature, his jaws snapping shut around its dark form. A sickening screech filled the alley as their bodies collided with the walls, the ground shaking beneath them. Maris held her breath, watching the chaos unfold. She had never seen a battle like this, the ferocity of their struggle shaking the very foundations of the city. The creature twisted and writhed, its shape constantly shifting, but the Protector never relented. He fought with a relentless force, a force that seemed to come from someplace deeper than mere instinct. The alley was filled with growls, screeches, and the sound of claws scraping against stone. Maris' heart raced as the Protector's powerful frame slammed against the creature's flickering form. She had never seen anyone fight so fiercely, so determinedly. He was a force of nature, holding the line with every ounce of his being. The battle raged on, and the air grew thick with the stench of burning. The Protector's fur was matted with blood, and his strength was beginning to waver. But in that moment, the creature's grip faltered. It was a brief instant, but enough for the Protector to press his advantage. He lunged forward, teeth sinking deep into the creature's form. The thing howled in pain, its form distorting like smoke in a flame. Maris could see it then. The creature wasn't just fighting for the kittens, it was fighting for something more. The shadowy figure writhed in agony, but it could not escape the Protector's grip. The creature screeched one final time, its form unraveling, and in an instant it was gone, leaving nothing but the faintest trace of its presence. The wind died down. The storm that had raged for what felt like hours suddenly fell quiet. The world seemed to hold its breath. Maris stood still, her heart still racing, her fur on end. Her eyes flicked to the Protector. He stood tall, despite the scratches and blood covering his body, his breath heavy but steady. He turned toward her, a slight tired nod to his head. "It's over," he said, his voice low, hoarse with exhaustion. "You and your young are safe now." Maris swallowed hard. Gratitude and disbelief twisted in her chest, and she could hardly find the words. She had never trusted anyone, especially not a dog. But in that moment she understood something deeper. Trust, she realized, was more than just a weakness. It was a strength, and sometimes it was the only thing that could save them. "Thank you," she said, her voice barely a whisper as the words seemed foreign on her tongue. But they were the only words that mattered. The Protector's tail flicked tiredly, a sign of acknowledgement, but his gaze remained calm, unwavering. "I protect those who need it." Maris looked down at her kittens, still nestled safely in their cardboard box, oblivious to the battle that had just unfolded around them. She pressed her nose gently to their tiny bodies, feeling the warmth of their breath as they slept. "I won't forget this," she murmured, her heart still heavy. The protector dipped his head in a silent promise. "Neither will I." As the storm began to fade, the first light of dawn filtered through the clouds, bathing the alley in a soft, golden glow. The world felt still, as though it were healing, slowly mending from the chaos. For Maris, it was a new beginning. She had learned to trust, had learned that even in the darkest corners of the world, there could be light. And for the protector, it was another victory. Not just as a lone survivor, but as someone who had made a difference in this broken world. He had been the protector, the one who held the line against the shadows.